This is Simon Paul, and right now I'm standing next to one hospital. Look here, and that this hospital is that place where I was locked down and I was arrested and at this hospital, you know, it is the place where and the department where is the madhouse, you know, and at this madhouse there are people who are locked down and who are actually you know, who are considered foolish people and people, and at this madhouse there are people who are locked down and who are actually you know, who are considered foolish people and people and individuals, and not everyone is judged righteously, and those tactics are literally fascist, and those tactics and intrigues have always been used fascistically and in the fascist regime during Adolf Hitler's regime and rule, and it is exactly the same and being used even today. So I just wanted to just show you that place. I will not mention exactly the name of it, so that you lest you don't visit it again and again. Doesn't matter what place it is, but the point is just where it is someplace. For it is not important which specific place or hospital it is, but it is important that also almost or every single hospital or throughout the entire world, it is exactly the same. And in Europe, in America, and in Asia, in Russia, in Africa, wherever, in Australia, and wherever, it is the same. And this is and this hospital is that hospital at the province of Czechia, and where I was arrested, where I was being healed, but unsuccessfully. For I remained the same as I am until now, and I have never changed like in the sense that in the sense that I would be you know, less powerful, less courageous, but instead I became even more powerful, even more courageous, and my testimony is really huge and powerful. So be encouraged by that. Behind this door, there is that madhouse where I was in. And right now, I'm standing inside at that hospital, and specifically at that madhouse inside, and not only in the hall, but it is something what is truly something, and why I was arrested here, why I was staying here at this territory. The reason is for the purpose, or not for the purpose, but for the name of Yeshua Ha'Mashiach, for the name of Yeshua's kingdom, and for his mentality. And this is why, the reason why I was arrested here, why I was hospitalized here, and why I was being here. But now I am exactly the same, but even more powerful, and even more experienced, with much experience than ever before. And therefore I'm speaking about from my experience, life experience, and not from just some theory what I've googled or searched for on the internet. But this is my life, or this is my true experience. And when you speak through your from your experience, then you are powerful, more powerful than anyone else who just Google, who just search for some information, but they have never experienced that what they speak about, what they are speaking about, and that's exactly the difference. That's the difference, and so I will show you right here, and this is it. And what is actually inside of those madhouses? It is literally like that. It goes like that. That you are locked down. You can't do nothing. You are captured and monitored, being monitored by cameras and all over the place, all of the department, and everywhere, and you can't go anywhere. You are locked down behind the doors and the hospital doors, and then when some visitations come to visit you, they can't go inside, they can't go in, they can't come in and inside behind those doors, but they can only be in front of those doors and not seeing what is inside, and those who are the staff and those patients, they can be inside, and nobody else, and except by some exceptions, such as some some helpers and collaborators with those psychiatrists and nurses and so on, and nobody else, so it is like that, and it goes like that in those hospitals, in those madhouses, and it is the same all over the world, and throughout the entire world, everywhere. So it is not an exception anywhere. And what does it look like inside of that madhouse? Many have false information about that, and for they have no experience. And those who have some experience, they are just considered patients and foolish people and fools, and others who don't have such experience, they don't trust them. Therefore, what is inside of those madhouses in general, nobody knows about it, nothing, and no one knows about it, nothing. For it is just something what is secret, and what is actually what is not publicly uncovered and revealed. And therefore I'm standing here just for the purpose of showing you and explaining you what does it look like inside, and not from some research, but from my own personal experience, why what I've experienced, what I personally experienced in my life, and not as a patient, not as a fool, but as a courageous man, and as a reporter who has been arrested inside, and who has experienced what does it look like inside. Behind me, you can see those windows exactly in that madhouse, or in madhouses in general. There are windows with bars, like in a prison, with prison like prison bars, and windows with prison bars. It is actually, it is not a classic hospital like other departments of whatever hospital, but it is a separated department from other departments of whatever hospital, and it is special department of whatever hospital, and it is called a madhouses, and mental institution, or for psychiatric patients, for those who are considered psychiatric patients, but many of them are mostly demonized and being bewitched by witchcraft, by witch doctors, and it is all about it. And those who don't believe in the invisible supernatural world, they just judge it and condemn it, and they say they're just foolish. But why they are foolish? Because someone tries to get rid of them, and those through witchcraft, and those who don't comprehend that precisely, they just judge it and throw it away, and condemn them, those people who just don't understand. And it is also the difference between them and between me, for I have truly and precisely understood, I were understanding what does it look like, and how it works, how it functions, specifically witchcraft's forces, and hypnotization, and buzzing humans, and so on. And then those immature and not spiritual persons, they just see that the physical, and they don't see what is inside, and what is the cause of it, and so on. So I just wanted to explain it to you. And for each psychiatric issue, and psychiatric problem, and psychiatric behavior, it is always the solution, the name and authority and power of the name of the Lord Yeshua Ha'Mashiach, and no other solution is greater and better than this. And what I've experienced there, I was being dragged by psychiatric anti-depressants, which caused in my body, slow emotions, slow behavior, slow thinking, slow mind, and it slows me down. But actually, I was not completely out of my mind. I had some thoughts, and I had some conscience, and I had it in control, and I was mostly quiet and not speaking those lies. Also, especially to those who don't understand that, who didn't understand that, how it works, how it works in general. So this is just a show what it looks like. Reported by Simon Paul.